Today, today I want to talk about how you can easily ditch that self-doubt that you continue to have and give you a really quick 5-step reset that you can use so that you can start making decisions faster. Let me ask you something. Have you have you ever already known what you wanted to do when you're faced with a decision to make, but you still pick up your phone to call someone to ask them what they think you should do? Not because you didn't already have the answer, you already knew what you wanted to do, but because you didn't trust that what you knew you wanted to do was the right thing to do. Who has felt that way or who has done that before? Give me a high five in the comments if that's you. That moment right there when you have to pick up the phone or you have to go find a friend to ask a friend, that is where everything slows down in your life. That is where your decisions get delayed, your confidence gets smaller, gets less, your momentum almost vanishes, all of it. Because it's not that you don't know, it's that you don't trust yourself enough to make the decision, to move with that decision. And what most people don't realize is that every time you override yourself like that, you're actually training your brain not to listen to you. Yeah, you're training your brain not to listen to you. So if you've ever caught yourself doing that, comment me in the comments. I want to see who this is hitting right now, who's really feeling what I'm talking about right now. Here's what this actually looks like in real life for you. You tell yourself that you'll make a decision when you have more time to think about it. And that turns into thinking about it for hours and hours, or even days or weeks. Or you'll decide when you've had a chance to check in with a few people for their opinion on what they would do. And you are second guessing the very first thing that popped up for you when that decision was meant to be made. Or you'll decide after you've had a chance to replay that conversation over and over and over again in your head to make sure you didn't miss something that was said, to make sure you're making the right decision. Or you'll decide when it feels right because you're afraid of making the wrong decision. That isn't because you're indecisive. It's not because you're indecisive and why you feel like you need to think about things so much or have to check in with other people to see what their opinion is. It's because being wrong doesn't feel safe to you. And instead of trusting yourself, you feel like you have to outsource your decisions, basically. And the problem with that is every time you do that, you lose a little bit more of that connection with yourself. You lose a little bit more trust in yourself to be able to make the decision that you need to be making. Throw a safe in the comments if you're feeling this. If you feel like being wrong just isn't an option. I would even put a safe in the comments for myself because I myself am a recovering perfectionist. So I know exactly what this feels like. And when you've had an experience like being wrong with a decision, and not being okay with being wrong with that decision, it makes you not want to make a decision in the future because you're afraid of being wrong. But that isn't trusting yourself enough to know that you can handle whatever comes from your decision. And this is really important. This really, really matters, because if you don't trust yourself to make these decisions, you're going to always second guess yourself and not build that trust in yourself and that confidence that you need to be able to go out and chase your dreams. So this isn't just in your head. Unfortunately, it's happening in your body too. Studies have shown, specifically from Harvard Health Publishing, that chronic overthinking and indecision increases our cortisol levels, which keeps your body in a constant stress response, which keeps you feeling in overwhelm all the time. That's why you feel tightness in your chest when you have a lot going on, when you're feeling really stressed. You feel not just physically exhausted, you feel mentally exhausted. And you are just drained by needing to make even the simplest of decisions, like what to have for dinner tonight. You aren't overreacting. Your nervous system is overwhelmed. And that's a result of those high cortisol levels from the constant overthinking and indecision, inability to make decisions quicker. That's what's happening. Your nervous system is getting overwhelmed as a result of that. And when you don't trust yourself, you experience a lot higher anxiety, lower confidence in yourself, in your decision-making abilities. And you're just exhausted, like I said. So the longer that you stay in this cycle, the harder everything is going to become, even the small stuff. Even what time should I get up tomorrow so I can make sure I get to that appointment on time? Even tiny little things like that. And this is something that a lot of people don't want to hear. You can't think your way into trusting yourself. You build trust by deciding, by doing the thing, which is going to back yourself up and help build that confidence and that trust in yourself. That's it. That's how most people build that trust back, not by thinking, by doing. So many people are waiting to feel confident first. But that's the aftermath. And that's why we're staying stuck. So you already know what you want. You already know what that decision is supposed to be. You just don't trust yourself enough to handle what's going to come next once you make that decision. And that is the real fear. But that's not the decision. That's the outcome of your decision. And if this is clicking for you, comment click in the comments so I know that you're feeling, you're smelling what I'm stepping in. But now I want to give you a really powerful tool that you can use to help you make decisions easier and faster without giving you more information, because we are all information overloaded these days. I want to give you something that you can actually use in that moment when you feel yourself ready to go pick up the phone to call your friend. Because that moment, that's where everything changes for you. And that's where you either leave yourself and abandon yourself more, or you come back to who you are and you trust yourself. And that is exactly why I created a simple 5-step reset which is something that I use. And it's something that I teach inside of my work with my clients that is going to help you get out of that emotional spiral really fast and be able to reconnect with your body and what your body is trying to tell you on what decision to make. And it's going to help separate that fear from what your gut instincts are so that you can see both sides clearly and make your decision a lot easier. It's not up to your friend, it's not up to your partner, and it's not what you should do. That decision will be yours. So if you want that reset, comment trust below and I'll send it to you so that you can start trusting your decisions again. And here's what I want you to do with it. Next time you catch yourself about to ask somebody else what they think, pause, step back, use that 5-step reset so that you can come back to yourself first. Because that moment right there, that's where your trust in yourself is built. And that's where your confidence is going to start to grow because you are making decisions faster and showing yourself that you can do it. You don't need more opinions. You just need to trust yourself. I'll see you in the next one.